All right, so family. So I have my notes. That's why I keep looking down. My laptop's on my lap. So the message I have today is you are not the villain. And a lot of times when you separate yourself from certain groups, certain people, your family, your siblings, your cousins, your play cousins, whoever it is, um, they tend to say that you're acting brand new, or they basically just try to make you the problem. And when they do this, since you have separated yourself from them, and they still have connection to people that you may have never had a problem with, they now have to paint this picture of you that is a false narrative. So the best role to paint you as is the villain, because not only are you unreachable to them, you're unreachable to the people that you never had a problem with, because you decided to just cut ties with that whole side, or that whole group of people, just to get your mind right, to not be part of the circus act that they are. You think different than them, you act different than them, you're on a different level than them. Your purpose is bigger than theirs. So that is the role that they gave you, that they wanted you to fit into. Because in retrospect, it kind of made sense to paint you as the villain, because people will always ask, where's so and so? Have you heard from so and so? I don't fuck with that. I don't. She, whatever. I don't mess with them. You know what I mean? They'll say whatever, anything to deflect on the reason why you're no longer hanging around, or no longer come around, or your number changes all the time, or whatever excuse they make. It's all excuses to deflect from the part they played and the reason why you're no longer around. You're no longer want to be bothered with them. So it's a method they use to also dim your light. So they want to dim your light because they can't explain to people, why you're not around, the real reason you're not around, and they can't even come up with an idea for themselves on this change that you made in your life. So they automatically just want to paint you as the villain. But I'm here to tell you, Elite Soul Family, that's the name I came up with for you guys. Elite Soul Family, you guys are not the villain. If anything, you are the savior, okay? You are the savior. You're breaking generational curses, okay? You can't be the villain. It doesn't even make sense to a person who's intelligent. Once they do the due diligence, people who are asking about you or wondering where you've been, how you've been, what you're doing, you're not the villain. So don't feel bad about them painting you as the villain character. That is not you. Okay, you're not even in their play. You don't even have a script for their circus act anymore. You know what I mean? So how can you play a role that you don't even have the script for? You are not the villain. Let me make that clear for you. I'm here to tell you today, Soul Families, you are not the villain. All right. So, the reason why they also call you the villain, because they're confused now at how you can keep pushing, even through all the crap you've been through, because they know all the crap you've been through, because they played a part in putting you through the crap. So they're confused now. How can he or she shine so bright? How can he or she get through the drama? How can he or she move forward all the time? They're hoping that you are affected by the dark energy they're putting out about you, and that you revert back to your ways of before. Whether it been you are a drug addict, or you are, like drama, or whatever the case may be, whatever your story that they wanted to paint you as, they like to exaggerate that. They like to exaggerate that story to people who, ask about you, or to anyone that will listen to them. So they want you to revert back to your old ways of thinking, to lower your vibration, to break that high frequency that you're on. They want to break that because they can't explain how you got there. They can't explain to other people how you got there. So the best thing to say is, exactly, they didn't want me to tell you this. The best thing to paint you as is the villain. I couldn't even get that out, but it got out. So move how you're moving, keep moving in your high frequency, and do not be deterred by the chitter chatter of lower vibrational dark energy entities and people. They do not even matter in your new script. Okay? So Elite Soul family, you are not the villain. You are on a higher frequency and you should not be worried, bothered, or concerned.